Okay, so good evening, everybody. This is our Rally to District call. My name is Danny Wells. I am a Regional Vice President with Arbonne International. And although it does say on my Zoom login, my name is Zoe Allen, I'm not. I'm just hosting this call because she's not very well. And I do massively apologise for everybody that's joined on the wrong ID number. That's completely my fault. I'm so sorry about that. No excuse, but I've been at a car presentation all day today and I literally had 4 Zooms to do, so I was like writing all the numbers down really quickly to send out. So I am so sorry for that. So I hope that everybody's managed to get on the correct number. I do really apologise. So this is our Rally to District call, and we have got 2 district managers that are going to share their journey tonight. They're going to share how they heard about Arbonne, what they thought, their journey throughout their business with Arbonne, and their top tips. So we've got District Manager Ian Wells, who's actually my husband, and we've also got District Manager Fiona Stevenson. So I'll start with Ian because he's sat right next to me, and I'll keep quiet so that he can speak.
You keep it quiet will be first. Thanks for that. That's a bit of a surprise because I didn't know that. I thought it was just top tips, but okay, I'll go with what I've got. I'm not as good as just wanging on, so I've written a little bit down. So if you're one of the people on the call tonight and you've been having a tough time of it or haven't engaged in your business activities and you've been struggling, my advice is throw yourself back into it. Get back in the game, so to speak. If you're doing nothing, then nothing's going to change, and only you can make it happen. Just like you did when you paid that £56 to start your own business. Chances are you didn't really know what you were doing, but you signed up, you joined, and you threw yourself straight back. You threw yourself into it. You just did it. And if you're at a standstill at the minute, you've just got to throw yourself back in. There's no excuses for it at the minute. Instead of listening to the radio when you drive to work or you're at home, you've got to be listening to personal development CDs or SoundClouds. You've got to be productive with your reading and find a book that's going to benefit you and your business. Commit to attending blazes, area trainings, region trainings. You know, there's plenty going on. Work on your why and your 60-second story. That's what for me and speaking to a lot of people, that's what people want to hear. Not necessarily about the business, but why you joined and the impact that it's had on you. And if your direct asks you to do a Sunday night Zoom, you do it.
Isn't this your first one?
Yes.
In a year?
Yeah. So there you go. To jump into some of these things, it's going to feel uncomfortable, but you know, I guarantee it's only going to get better. And trust me, it only gets better the more you do. A few months ago, a year ago, I'd never do this. I'd be playing the card. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. So
that's true.
So I'm here now and I'm doing that, and the support's there, whether it's from your directs or sidelines or other people in your team. There are always people that want you to succeed. They want you to do well. So you're never on your own. Which it kind of leads me on to my next piece. Advice / problems you may or may not be having. If you're like me, I've got quite unsupportive friends regarding the business and what I'm doing outside of my so-called main job. Every time I see them, they sort of ruin my mood. They drag me down. The negative. You sound like me a year ago, basically, but I've since moved on. The constant moaning, etc., etc. And you need to change that. I am changing that. You need to surround yourself with people that are like you. People that are driven, determined, ambitious, motivated. And I guarantee once you start doing that, you will feel the benefits straight away. Whether that be a blaze or a training or an online Zoom, we all come back from these events, ready to go, don't we? We all feel happy being surrounded by people that want the same things as us. Classic example for me was, I was fortunate enough for Danny to take me away on the incentive trip last week. It was fantastic, being surrounded by all those people from Arbonne that had achieved it. It was great. The tips, the advice, the stories. It was fantastic. Come back rejuvenated, absolutely ready to crack on. And I see my so-called good friends the next day, and my God, they're just miserable, aren't they? I think I saw 8 of them, and 2 of them asked me how my holiday was. I've got a slight tan. It was quite obvious that I've been away. I've been posting pictures, but no, no one was bothered, or they're scared to ask, whatever. So, it just wasn't a nice experience. It was draining, and I'd only been back in the country a day. But I've been doing this long enough now, and I'm kind of over it, getting over it. So. For me, I seem to be moving away from my close friends, to be honest, and spending more time with people I aspire to be like, or that want the same things as me. I'm starting to learn that my dreams and my future are more important than their negativity, and so are yours. So with that, only you can change that, and you've got to strive forward with the people that you want to be with, and don't let your true friends, so to speak, hold you back. So they were my sort of tips, sort of thing.
That's brilliant. Do you want to share your story with getting to district?
Story of district. Okay. Story of district. I as a lot of I didn't sort of choose to join the business. Danny joined me because she wanted the free gift. Great.
Oh, I didn't mean that honest.
There you go. So that's why I joined. Yeah, I can see a few of you laughing. True story.
I can mute.
So it got to Christmas, a bit more honesty, and Danny says, "Look, I need to hit area qual. Will you do something from your business, my business, which is yours, whichever way you look at it?" So, yeah, I said, "Yeah, I'll help you out," and I threw myself in. And over Christmas, in a couple of weeks, through sending a couple of emails, I was lucky enough to sign 2 consultants, which was good for me, good for Danny, but probably not good for them at the time. Shout out to Sam Ball and Amy James if they're on the call. So, for me at the time, that was a little bit of proof that if I did put the time and effort in, that it did work. So, over the year, Danny hit area, she went to Arizona. Vegas was wanged on about no end, but to be honest, I probably still didn't really believe entirely with what she was doing. But I found myself attending blazes, area trainings, region trainings. I was talking to guys, I was talking to girls about the business, the products. I'm like, I'm doing it, but not probably committing to it. So I don't really know when it all changed for me. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, I'm all over it, so to speak. But over a period of time, I suppose, and you find yourself changing with obviously spending time with people that you want to spend time with. So that was kind of my little story. It's not quite like everyone else's where you had your DA or a Zoom or a friend introduced you. Mine's very different, but that was how I got involved.
That was great. That was really good.
I still want my free gift back.
If anyone was wondering what the free gift was, it was the Victoria palette with the eyeshadows and the little red lipstick. It's a really nice gift. So I was really, really pleased when Ian did decide, months after becoming a consultant, to take his business seriously. Because like he said there, he started his business actually around the same time I did, but he didn't take his business seriously like I did for many, many months later. I was so pleased when he does. And now me and Ian, we don't have a partnership. We work separate businesses, and he's just doing really great with his. So I'm really pleased to have him on the call tonight to share his journey and his top tips. So thank you, Ian, for that.
Anytime.
So now we've got District Manager Fiona Stevenson to share her journey and her top tips. So welcome, Fiona.
Hi, hello everybody. Okay, so I am Fiona Stevenson. I am an independent consultant with Arbon International, and I'm a district manager. Now, I feel like I've said that so many times recently on Zoom calls. I've done so many Zoom calls lately and spoken about my journey, how I heard about Arbon, how I got here, and my top tips. And what I found is the more I do it, the more honest I get, and the more honest I speak about the mistakes that I've made, and things that you really shouldn't do that I've done. So I'm going to be even more honest this time around. Okay, so just briefly, like I said, I've done this a few times lately, so I don't know who I'm going to be repeating myself to. So just briefly, I heard about Arbon back in June when Daniela Wells is actually one of my very best friends, godmother to my daughters, and she bounced into my living room. Oh, I started this new business. It's like, oh, what are you doing? She's like, well, I buy products online and then I get paid for it. Okay, how do you get paid for it? She's like, I don't know, but it's really, really good. Needless to say, I didn't, jump in straight away. The next time she explained it to me, she said, it's going really, really well. And she explained a little bit about network marketing. So I kind of understood the gist of network marketing. Then I said, okay, so tell me more about the products. And she said, well, they do lots of things, like lipstick, toothpaste, things like that. I'm like, okay, well, what? And she said, they're really, really good quality. And I was like, okay, well, what makes them good? And she was like, well, they don't have rubbish in them. It's like, what rubbish? And she's like, I don't know. They're just really good. Right, okay, you don't really know what you're talking about then. So I kind of just thought, okay, I'll support her, see how it goes. A few weeks later, she showed up with a check, a huge check for £12.50, blew me away. And at that point, I kind of thought, wow, this is working. That £12.50, to me, it wasn't just seeing a check for £12.50, it was seeing the start of something huge, and I really wanted to be involved in that. At the time, I was a single parent looking for a plan B. When I unexpectedly became a single parent, that was my life plan kind of gone, and I didn't have anything to fall back on. So I had to sign on to benefits, which I wasn't personally happy doing with, just sitting there on benefits. So I was looking for something. I was looking for a way to provide for my children, and I had to do that without the availability of childcare. So this was kind of perfect. Then Christine Goddard is my sponsor, and she is very sensible, very money savvy, all about the bargain, all about budgeting. And she started her business with Arbonne in September, and I jumped on board with her, which was brilliant. So I'm in Daniel Wells region. So I started in September. I was raring to go when I started in September, and I had one independent consultant start the business with me at the end of September, and then one again in October, and then one again in November. And then I moved an hour and a half away from my team, and from my sponsor and from everyone. And I moved to Milton Keynes, and I'm the only independent consultant in the whole of Milton Keynes. Well, I'm not now, but I was. And I moved to Milton Keynes, and I just kind of stopped doing anything Arbonne related. Things took over. I was moving house. It was Christmas. It was birthdays. I had 2 young girls to settle into a new county, looking for schools, looking for houses, all of that. And I just let Arbonne disappear. And after a few months, that was in December. And then in March, I kind of thought I need to give myself a kick up the bum. So I found a new business builder, or actually she found me, and started getting a little bit more active with Arbonne. But I always treated Arbonne like a hobby. And this is my first top tip. If you treat Arbonne like a hobby, it will cost you money, and you will not get what you want from it. So you need to stop treating it as a hobby and start treating it as a business. This is a legitimate business. You need to think about your future properly, not just think, oh yeah, I'd love to be a millionaire. Seriously think about your future, write it down in front of you, think about what you want, and do not treat it like a hobby, treat it like the professional business that it is. So a few months ago, I got serious. I wanted this. So I did. I started treating this like the business. I worked my arse off, and I went into district manager qualification in June, and qualified in August. So this is my first month as a proper district manager. This is my first month that I've had a wage as from Arbonne as a district manager, and already I'm hoping to go into area manager qualification either this month or next month, but fingers crossed it's going to be this month. It'll definitely be before Christmas. So I'm raring to go now. Okay, so that's where I am. That's from where I started up until now. Now I've written down a few things. Like I said, I'm getting a bit more honest, so I'm not going to hold back, sorry. So the first thing is be confident talking about this business and know the products and know the business. So if somebody says to you, okay, I want to hear more, I'm coming around, I'm on my way to your house right now, I'll be there in 5 minutes, tell me about the business, what are you going to say? And just take a few seconds to actually think about that. Imagine right now that someone rings you and says, right, I'm on my way, I'll be there in 5 minutes. What would you say to them? Would you be able to sit there confidently and talk about the business, talk about how it works and the products and why the products are so good? And if you don't think that you'll be able to do that, then it must be your priority. Learn the products and learn the business model and learn to talk about it. There's a fantastic SoundCloud, which I will post on the page afterwards. That's how to do the DA in 15 minutes. And it's ideal for someone's first exposure to Arbonne. So definitely listen to that. Okay, another one is create your own network. If you have spoken to everybody in your network, your friends, your family, that's you need to be constantly building. You need a constant income of potential business builders and potential PCs and clients. So create your own networks. Join a new gym, go to a new library. If you've got children, go to new play groups, start talking to the mums at the school gates. If you don't have children, go to the gym, join new gym classes, a spin class or aerobics class, go swimming, or go to new cafes, or go shopping for the day. And if somebody gives you fantastic customer service, say to them, wow, your customer service is incredible. I think you would be amazing at what I do. If you want to hear more, here's my business card. How about we meet for a coffee sometime? And leave it at that. Don't go into too much detail on the first thing. Okay, this is my big thing. Don't think that you are above personal development. And I didn't have anything to do with personal development for a long time, long time, until recently, actually. I never read a personal development book. I just thought that I didn't need it. I thought, I understand the business, I understand the products. I don't need the personal development. I could talk to people. That's fine. I don't need this. But actually, it's so important and so beneficial. And it kind of links into my next point, because what I'm going to say now is so right for my next point as well. People didn't get to where they are in this business without personal development. Every single national vice president, regional vice president, area manager, district manager, every person that you speak to that's at the top or at some level of promotion in this business has done some personal development. Whether that's a little bit every single day or a lot every single day, you need to do personal development. 5 pages of a book, 10 minutes on a SoundCloud or a YouTube video or something. Personal development is key. The next thing is use the system. The system has been put in place for a reason, and it works for a reason. Do the one-to-ones, do the product drop-offs, do the business launches, do the events. Everything has been set in place. If you would like to do an event, everything is laid out for you exactly how to do it. And the system has been working all this time. It works. It's got people to the top, so use it. What else do I need to say? That's about it, really. Keep active. Do not, like Ian said, keep active, keep doing stuff every single day. Get to as many events as possible. If you can't be there in person, ask someone to Zoom call it for you. Like I said, I moved an hour and a half away from my team, so I find it quite difficult, especially like region training, things like that. It's first of the month, I've got kids that I've got to get to school, so it's quite difficult, but I always Zoom in. So always be there if you can to different events. And that's about it. That's what I've got to say, really.
That was
enjoy your journey, enjoy every second.
Brilliant, Fiona. And I can't get enough of hearing you say that story. And do you know what, like Fiona says, she has shared her journey so much to become a district manager, and the reason why is because she's just so brilliant. She's just absolutely amazing. And I've heard her do her story probably about 4 times this week. But I love hearing her talk every single time. I love her training. And Fiona's so funny because she's been in this business for about as long as I have, minus a couple of months. But it was only recently where she's absolutely jumped at the chance to do things like she'll be messaging me, go, when can I do a training? When can I do this? When can I do that? And Fiona actually only got asked about 15 minutes ago to do this call note because someone's not very well. She's like, yes, of course. So she's always such a great person to have if you want a last minute person to train, because she just loves the sound of her own voice. Did anyone have any questions for Fiona or Ian?
Yeah, Ian, how did you get Danny to shut up for 5 minutes to let you talk?
She got the telly on in the background.
There we go.
Not watching it, it's the football. If anyone's got any questions, just unmute yourself if you want to ask anything or pop something in the chat.
Ian, I have a question for you.
Oh, there we go. There's always one problem.
How do you manage your full-time job? Because I know that it takes a lot out of you, and I know that you get quite tired quite quickly. How do you manage your full-time job and looking after your team that you sponsor, and also allocate time for growing your business? How do you manage it all?
Great question.
Yeah,
Just to put you on the spot there.
that is a good question. Yeah, well, I don't work too local, so like I said, if I can, I will try and put on CDs or recordings in the van to and from work. So I know if I'm got 2 hours worth of travelling, you mean 2 hours across 5 days, 10 hours listening on stuff to help me. You mean I do Zoom. I make time for my team. If I can do a Zoom with my team, we arrange a day. We stick. If you're gonna arrange something, then stick to it. I always arrange a Friday night, and Friday nights I probably think, you know what, really can't be bothered. But I know full well, having got on it, that I'm gonna come off, knowing that everyone's up for it. You feel better, So it's just sort of putting those plans in place, really. At the start, it probably was quite difficult. Like I said, a lot of my friends are miserable, as was I. So, yeah, sort of, like I said, drifting away from them and being surrounded by people that are doing the same thing and want to do the same thing makes me want to do it as well. If I know that they're, on a call, or if I know that everyone else is doing it, I want to be at the same stage as them. I don't want to be left behind, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like you, we've been doing. We've been doing it a year. So to speak. Danny's up here, I'm down here, and I'm thinking, do you know what? I want to. I want to grow and develop as well, but you can't do that by, sitting and doing nothing. So
watching the football.
Just not unless Liverpool's on, and then I won't do anything. But it's literally sort of a momentum thing as well. I think once you keep doing stuff, you want to keep doing that. Once you don't do anything, then you find yourself not doing anything. That's for me personally.
Do you want to share some of the books and stuff like that?
No.
You like Jack?
Yeah, I do like Jack. I do like Beach Money. Yeah, T.R. Becker. He's the boy, and I quite like him. But for me, I like listening to. I can relate more listening to men as opposed to women. As great it is being surrounded by women at area training, region training, Zoom calls, I do relate better to men. So I'll go for them.
Danny, can I ask Ian a question?
Go ahead.
You're loving this.
I'm due to get my first mail into my business at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, do you do the product workshops, or what? How do you run your business? How does it? I don't know what men prefer to do. I'm advising him to do everything.
For me, in the beginning, when it was quite new, it was kind of, I was going to these events to support Danny and listen to her talk. But as more men started coming, that was probably when my interest sort of, got more real. Being able to relate to other guys and hearing what they had to say made it feel more like men could be involved as well. So I don't know if you're local or whatever. Definitely make it feel like men are involved as well, so to speak. Don't just let it just for women and it's women and that. Make it show that men are involved as well. In the business, whether that's with you or have been successful in that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She asked if you do any makeup workshops.
I don't do any workshops. No, I'm sure.
But you said you will do.
I'm sure I will do if told to by my director.
No, you said. You said you were going to ask some people. You were going to do a makeup workshop.
You know what I mean.
See, I've got this guy's coming in, and what I've advised him to do is, even if he's not going to do the workshops to build his own business, he needs to know how to do them so he can sponsor women and teach them how to do them.
Yeah, that's spot on. I've done 2 launches this week, and it became very clear to me that I could talk all day about the nutrition, but obviously when it comes to makeup and skincare, I probably couldn't talk to you about anything. So I know that I need to brush up on my product knowledge. I might not be using it, but I need to know about it. So
you and Danny need to have a Rocky Horror Picture Show night at your house.
So for me to go to that next level, I need to brush up on on products. Like Fiona said, if someone come around and you explain the business, could you explain it? If someone come to me and wanted to talk about the products, I could talk about probably 25% of it.
Okay.
So,
Thank you. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Did anyone else want to ask anything else?
to Fiona.
I'll ask Fiona. Fiona, what personal development do you like? What books and audios do you like?
Well, do you know what? This is really bad, but I just follow whatever you recommend. So if someone asks me my favourite books, I'd just say the ones that you say. Dare to Dream, Work to Win. Anything by Eric Worre. He always builds me up. The Secret. What else am I reading at the moment? Oh, I'm reading at the moment. I don't know where my Kindle is. I'm reading at the moment. Something about like 7 skills how to become a network marketing professional. I think it's called. And it's brilliant. I say it's brilliant. I can't even remember the name of it, but it is really good. I don't know where my Kindle is at the moment, but it's called How to Become a Network Marketing Professional, I think it's called. But it's really, really helpful because obviously I moved here. And when I moved here, I've said this 3 times on the call now, but I moved an hour and a half away from my team. So although I used to live here in Milton Keynes, I haven't lived here for 10 years. So I moved here and didn't know anybody really. So it's all about, it's called, sorry, the book is called How to Build Network Marketing Leaders.
Oh, I love that book.
Oh, there we go. Told you it probably came from your recommendation. Yeah, I love it. I'm reading it at the moment. I'm only on like the 3rd chapter, but it's quite a small book, so it's not taking me long at all. And GoPro. What else have I got on here that I've been reading? 45-minute presentation. But obviously it's on Failure System. 79 network marketing tips. The Most Beautiful Business on Earth. That's a really good one. Oh, Icebreakers is a really good one. How to get any prospect to beg you for a presentation. That's a really good one because at the minute, people will hear me go on and on and on about Andy Roberts, but I do love Andy Roberts. I've become a little bit of a stalker. But Andy Roberts does training on cold marketing, and that's what I'm focusing on at the moment. So I keep forcing myself to go to brand new play groups, talking to people literally while we're waiting for the bus. Someone asked for donations of toys the other day. She turned up at my door to collect a toy. I spoke for 2 minutes, and then I'm going for a coffee with her on Wednesday. So I'm just constantly talk to people, and not mentioning Arbonne straight away, but like icebreakers, get them talking and finding out about them, making it about them, asking them how they are, what their life is like, what they do for a living, and just starting that initial groundwork for building a relationship with them and building a rapport with them. And then in a couple of weeks or a couple of months, then I will talk to them about Arbonne. So that's them ones at the minute. The Icebreakers, 79 network marketing tips. Loads. What else have I got on here? I've got loads that I'm like halfway through reading, and then I put one down and pick up another, and then keep switching. The System is a good one. And How to Follow Up with Your Network Marketing Prospects. That's really good. And that's by Keith and Tom. And that's brilliant. And it was only like £4 on the iStore, on the Kindle bookstore thingy, but that's really good. Yeah, so loads of books.
Brilliant. Okay, well that's great, and hopefully everyone's got some really good top tips from there and enjoyed listening to Ian and Fiona's stories. So thank you everybody so much for coming on the call tonight, and thank you so much to Fiona and Ian for taking the time to share their journey and their top tips. It's been really enjoyable and it's been really interesting. So thank you so much, and thank you everybody. We'll see you on next week's.
Bye.
Bye.